Hi everyone, we're here at Solana Breakpoint in Abu Dhabi. I'm Rachel Peffer, and today I'm joined by Brian Rudick, who's the Chief Strategy Officer at Upexi, one of the world's largest Solana Treasury holding companies. Brian, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks so much for having me.
So tell me a little bit more about Upexi and its journey.
Yes, so Upexi is a consumer brands company. We own 3 different consumer brands that we sell either direct to consumer or on Amazon. And in April, we saw the US administration turning from a headwind to a tailwind for cryptocurrencies. And we actually did the first large-scale equity private placement for an Altcoin Treasury, decided to be underpinned by Solana because we believe that finance is moving on chain. And that is just such a huge opportunity to upgrade our financial infrastructure. We raised $100 million in April, a subsequent $200 million raise in July. Now we hold about 2 million SOL, and we're basically employing the MicroStrategy playbook, but with some additional value accrual mechanisms such as staking to turn the treasury into a productive asset and buying locked SOL at a discount for built-in gains for shareholders.
So $100 million in April, $200 million in July. The market has changed somewhat since then. How has it affected you?
It's changed quite a bit. We were one of the very first to do it, and I think we benefited from both the appreciation in the price of SOL, being able to execute on our value accrual mechanism. So we did that subsequent raise, which was highly accretive. And then also we saw quite significant multiple expansion from when we first raised. And I think that early success attracted a lot of others that wanted to adopt a similar strategy. And now there's kind of an oversupply of treasury companies. There's literally 200 of them. And so that's put some pressure on the multiple. And so treasury companies have been hit by that. But what I'd say is I am supremely optimistic from here. 3 reasons, really. One is I believe very strongly in the future potential price appreciation of Solana. Number 2 is I do think that we could see multiple expansion as we move into a more full bull market, which is what we've seen with MicroStrategy in the past. And then number 3, we have these additional value accrual mechanisms. So we make roughly 10% between buying discounted locked SOL and the staking yield. And so we'll increase our SOL 10% plus each year just from those 2 mechanisms alone while we wait.
So I would like to pick up a bit further on that third point that you made about the strategies that you're employing. How do you keep innovating and evolving those strategies to stay unique from all the other competitors that have entered the market?
Yeah, that's a great question. We try to lead with innovation, particularly on the capital markets front. So as I mentioned, we did the first large-scale equity raise for an altcoin treasury. We actually did the first in-kind convertible note where folks use SOL as consideration to buy that convertible note. Offers a very different risk profile than just contributing equity. And it had benefits for both the investors and for Upexi. And we're looking to continue to innovate, mostly on the capital markets side. We have some things that we're working on that if they work, we think could work out well. And then we're also looking to try to increase that yield in a very risk-prudent manner. We're not doing any sort of crazy on-chain degen looping strategies, but we think if we could do it kind of off-chain with derivatives and increase the yield, that should be worth something to the multiple, which can then help you perpetuate that capital markets virtuous flywheel.
That all sounds excellent. And maybe taking a little bit of a step further back from purely Solana treasury companies, what is your view on the sort of short to medium term crypto horizon?
I am supremely bullish for a couple different reasons. One is we've had a pullback in the market, so prices are down, but fundamentals are up. So if you look at like underlying fundamentals, whether it's for like global crypto users or number of developers, all of that continues in secular expansion up and to the right. Seems like every day we get a new announcement from big finance or big tech that are experimenting, moving on chain. And we have this massive catalyst in the Clarity Act passing in the first half of next year. I think that's going to force institutions to come in a big way. So for me, when prices are down and fundamentals are up, over the long term, prices have to follow fundamentals. And so I think it makes for a very compelling risk reward.
Fantastic. No, that's great points that you raised. And I think what you did as a first mover in the space and what you're continuing to do to innovate is really great. So thank you so much for taking the time to come on the show today.
Thank you. Really appreciate the opportunity.